A new survey by Public Policy Polling, a Democratic group, shows Trump maintaining a strong lead in South Carolina with 35% of likely Republican voters backing him. Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio are tied for second at 18%, followed by John Kasich at 10%, then Jeb Bush and Ben Carson tied at 7%. Joining us now with reaction from Columbia, South Carolina, Alice Stewart, senior advisor for the Cruz campaign, and from Dallas, Trump national spokesperson Katrina Pearson. Now, Katrina and Alice, no two better people sitting right here to debate all the recent events between your two candidates. I'm going to start with you, Katrina. Donald has said Ted Cruz has repeatedly lied about him and is ready to sue. Is that the case? Will Trump sue Cruz for libel?
Well, he actually might, considering how a lot of these attacks against Mr. Trump are not true. And specifically with this new ad on Planned Parenthood, Donald Trump simply says that cervical cancer screening for poor women is a good thing, even though he opposes abortion and opposes funding for abortion for Planned Parenthood. But the Cruz campaign wants to take it a little bit further. It's obvious that Senator Cruz needs South Carolina to move forward, and he's not going to stop at anything, including misrepresenting his positions on pretty much everything at this point, Eric.
Okay, Alice, is Ted Cruz concerned about being sued in the middle of a fight for the GOP nomination?
Well, if Donald Trump wants to sue, bring it on. And the fact of the matter is, Ted Cruz has done nothing but point out Donald Trump's exact words exactly as he said them. And he has said that he supports the nation's largest abortion provider. He has said he is pro-choice. He has said that Planned Parenthood does some great things. And so what I don't understand, I want to ask Katrina, the nation's largest abortion provider, how can he compete in a state like South Carolina when he supports abortion?
Katrina?
Well, first I'd like to ask Alice if she actually believes Mr. Trump supports abortion, because the ads that the campaign are running are from 17 years ago. Mr. Trump hasn't been pro-abortion for a very long time. He has been pro-life. He's told stories on the campaign trail about that transition. Senator Cruz props up people like Ronald Reagan, who as governor of California signed the most liberal piece of abortion legislation in that state in the country's history, Alice. Mr. Trump is pro-life, and the Cruz campaign knows it.
Alice?
Well, it was just last week when we were on the debate stage when Donald Trump said that he supports taxpayer funding for the nation's largest abortion provider. So we're talking last week, not 17 years ago. He has said repeatedly
Mr. Trump said he supports,
he has said repeatedly,
he supports the good things, like cervical cancer screenings. Do you think poor women shouldn't have cervical cancer screenings?
Planned Parenthood is the nation's largest abortion provider. He supports the nation's largest abortion provider, and South Carolina is a pro-life state. The Republican Party is a pro-life party, and you cannot go around saying that you're pro-life when you support funding for Planned Parenthood. In addition to that, he has said repeatedly that he thinks they do good things when they are a large abortion provider. He has also said he supported Democrat candidates over the years.
He also supported Ted Cruz. He's donated to Ted Cruz.
Hold on, guys. We can go back and forth on this. I mean, Alice, honestly, there are a lot of candidates who've changed positions on certain things. For example, on immigration. Some would say Ted Cruz has changed his position on immigration over the years as well. Should you be holding Donald Trump to the standard of what he said, as Katrina points? I'm not sure about that 17 years ago number, but if in fact it was 17 years ago that he said it, should he be held to that standard now?
He should be held to the standard of what he said on the debate stage just last week, Eric, and that's what people are basing their decision on it. And when it comes to immigration, no one fought harder against Marco Rubio and the Gang of Eight and their amnesty program than Ted Cruz in Washington, D.C. And here's the fact. I'm in South Carolina. We have been out on the campaign trail for days here in South Carolina talking to South Carolinians about issues that they are concerned with, not some Donald Trump just calling his opponents liars and nasty. Ted Cruz this morning gave a phenomenal national security speech here in Charleston, where he talked about the importance of funding and building up our military. Barack Obama has spent the past 7 years with our national security on the back burner. Ted Cruz will put it on the front burner. This afternoon, we were out on the campaigin trail with Texas former Governor Rick Perry, and Medal of Honor recipient Dakota Meyer, talking about our vets improving
Donald Trump is pro-life and has been for a very long time. We, too, are on the ground in South Carolina listening to the voters who think that a lot of these things that the Cruz campaign are doing are very sleazy, from Iowa all the way to South Carolina with these horrible push polls. And I will say this with regards to immigration. Donald Trump is the most solid on immigration as we've seen, and the only reason we're having this discussion is because of Donald Trump. On Senator Cruz's own YouTube page, he is praising bringing Syrian refugees to this country because it's the right thing to do for America. He flip-flopped on that after Mr. Trump came out against it. He supported increasing HB1 visas and green cards to the tune of $33 million.
We can't go through the complete platforms of both candidates. What I'd like to talk about a little bit, and we don't have a ton of time, I'm going to start with you, Katrina. In the aftermath of the last debate where Donald Trump had mentioned some things about George W. Bush, yet afterwards the poll numbers haven't seemed to have budged. Is he concerned? Are you hearing on the ground that that's going to affect anything going forward, going into Saturday's primary?
No, not at all, Eric. The people on the ground in South Carolina and all over the country are tired of the transnational corporation-backed people like Senator Ted Cruz, who promotes Obama trade. They're tired of it. They want their jobs back. They want to make things in this country again. They want to secure the borders. They want to stop immigration. They want to deport criminal aliens. The people on the ground get it. They're very used to politics and politicians alike, and that's why we see the poll numbers staying the same.
And what do you say, Alice? Is Ted Cruz concerned that the poll numbers in the aftermath of the, you know, what a lot of people thought was this is the one thing that's going to get Donald Trump, his numbers to come down, you know, after all the other things, was going to be the one because George W. Bush seems to be beloved, but it hasn't seemed to budge. Is Ted Cruz concerned that maybe he shouldn't have picked this fight?
Well, here's the thing. Ted Cruz has done nothing more than point out Donald Trump's own record and his own words. And it's sad that Katrina has to defend someone who basically says anyone that calls out his record is lying. That's a pretty weak defense. And just by saying someone's a liar, does not address the issue. So, you know, it's unfortunate.
But here's the issue. Honestly, here's where the rubber meets the road. You look at the last poll, the poll we just cited. Ted Cruz was solidly in second prior to that poll. Now he's tied for second. His numbers have slid a bit. Is this a concern in the Cruz camp?
Now, we're encouraged by the crowds we've seen here on the ground in South Carolina. We're making tens of thousands of phone calls every day and knocking on doors and having tremendous surrogates out here on the trail with us. And keep in mind, the polls had Donald Trump in first in Iowa, and we had a resounding victory in Iowa. So we're looking forward to Saturday.
We're going to have to leave it right there, ladies. Thank you very much.